I'm really happy with how things are going with Levinux and Pipulate. You can see it running here as it's intended to on the desktop of a Windows XP platform, but that could just as well be Windows 7 or Windows 8 or a Mac. And I'm up to the final stretch of preparing my Beta 3, which is going to have Pipulate running actively as a usable application for anyone who wants to use my free and open source tools for SEO and social media. But these numbers are wrong, and I thought I'd make this video about some tiny corrections. And now that I have that stuff that corrects carriage returns on files that originated from DOS, I can go into where that recipe file is located, and I could edit it with things like my just installed Notepad++. And it'll give me some color coding. It recognizes what's going on there a bit with the file. And oh, it's not even the recipe. It's after this point. That menu is created from rc.local, which again will have its carriage returns fixed even if you do your work on a Windows platform. So we can find where these menu choices are created. We got 4213, and this is the drawing of the screen. And here are where the menu choices are. That's the 4213. The 4 is in two places because the option changes based on whether you got Python or not. But at any rate, we've got to be careful about changing them because they tie to these case numbers. So if I change this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's 1, 2, 3. This would be option 3. If I change that to 3 for learn more, I have to change that to 3 to learn more. So let's do this very carefully. Let's turn the 4s into 1s. And then we just go down to case 4, and we turn that into 1. And we just look all the way down to make sure we're not overlooking something stupid. We've got some nested things here, but we'll worry about those later. Those are for installing libraries, which I believe is going to change to something else, because that was for a different era of Levinux when I had some different things in mind, like doing Google Glass development from it, but it's mixing too many different worlds. This is just a path onto Unix and Linux-like environments for the masses, not some obscure development platform. This is as mainstream as possible. So 2 is exit to login, and that remains the same. Learn more becomes 3, and we look down here for learn more. Oh, this looks like learn more here. That becomes 3. There we go. And then finally, shutdown becomes 4. And sudo power off, or power off. There it is, 4. And now, all we have to do is kill that, go back up here to the reset. Now remember, I'm going to delete this, this home.backup. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to drag that there so that you can see whenever you do a reset, it just copies out your last home, so that if you did any like code development or anything, it would be preserved and you have like an undo. So anyway, I just double click that, and now because I did a reset, it is going to go through the server build from the very beginning, so that even though this file here exists on the host machine, in this case Windows, this is going to be TFTP, trivial FTP'd into the virtual machine and become the new rc.local file that builds the menu when it gets up to that point. But first, as we're familiar with, it's going to run recipe.sh first, where all the commands are located for building the server in the first place. These are the commands to copy stuff over from the host machine, and then you have these commands which are building stuff from the TinyCore Linux repository. And then you have the moving of the commands to run rc.local into a file called bootsync.sh. This is what happens at the end of the boot process of TinyCore Linux. So I have copied over rc.local here, and then I execute it. Oops. Hey, QEMU under the per. Problem. Don't send. There are things that go wrong. I'm going to do a reset. I'm the first to admit that things do go wrong with Levinux. This is a kind of a magic cocktail mix, and they often go wrong when you're doing other things while the startup procedure is happening. So I'm just going to fast forward to where RC local is executed and turns into the menu, and there you have it. Options 1, 2, 3, and 4. We could actually choose one of those options. It's completely unnecessary. The more important thing at this time is to quit out, to do a reset, to make sure we're in the right directory, do a git status, and see that the only thing we've edited really was RC local, where we changed the number order. So I'll do a commit and a push, and now you're starting to see how Levinux is all put together and customized for those people who are interested in making this tiny little Swiss Army knife of tech work in the countless, unlimited different ways it can be modified to your specific needs. And now that it's in GitHub, you know, it's open to all that. Fork your own version, do what you want with Levinux. The techniques are applicable to just about any type of virtual appliance you want to build, especially if the software you need is already in the TinyCore Linux software repository, which makes it really easy. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon, and don't forget to subscribe.